Good afternoon, YouTubers. Well, I hope you enjoyed my video the other day of the big 100-ton gun cannon thing. I will be doing more of that eventually as I'm getting round Gibraltar, get a bit of time off. I've got time off today. I'm in the house because the Wi-Fi is quite good in the house, and I thought I'd take the opportunity to do a quick upload because it took about 6 hours to upload that film. It was only about 8 minutes long, wasn't it, with the 100-ton gun. But as I say, Gibraltar's a really interesting place. And there was a great siege. In fact, the Great Siege of Gibraltar was the biggest, longest siege in British history. I'm sure there's been other sieges elsewhere that went on longer, but I've got it written down here somewhere. Siege of Gibraltar was 3 years, 7 months, and 12 days. That was longer than the siege of Leningrad and Malta and places like that. And it all went back to the days when they were all firing cannonballs at each other. It was actually related to the American Revolutionary War, because as you know, the Americans threw the British out of the United States. But around that time, the French and the Spanish decided to be allies with the Americans. So it was all linked. You see, the siege in Gibraltar, although Gibraltar's on the other side of the Atlantic Ocean, it was actually linked because enemies and allies to enemies were taking advantage of things that were going on elsewhere in the world, because while the British Army were fighting in the American War of Independence, later lines of communication, take a long time to send a message back to London on a sailing ship to get a reply, to get a response to come back. So there's a huge delay. I suppose the French and the Spanish had the same problem going on. But the French and the Spanish took the advantage and the initiative during that period and decided to besiege Gibraltar. So where the runway is today, that was like old trenches full of Spanish guns, and they were firing cannonballs at Gibraltar. And of course, Gibraltar's cut off completely, and it has to be resupplied from the sea. There are videos on the internet. There's some good videos actually on the Great Siege of Gibraltar. You can Google it if you're interested. It's well worth looking out. I'm just giving you the brief outline synopsis of what actually happened here. It was really good. It was really good. And so they had to be supplied by sea, and that's what they did. The British did that. They actually supplied the place. But they were very short of supplies for a long time during this siege. I mean, as the ships came in, everyone was fine again, but then the scurvy took toll again, and the food was running out again, and people were so when the big battle finally came, where the Spanish and the French tried to take Gibraltar, they've been worn down for years of sieges and being cut off and one thing or another. I'm not going to bore you with all the details of that, but there was lots of fighting went on, and if you're ever interested in military history, then Gibraltar's a really, really good place to come. And the British used to send troops out at night to attack the enemy positions and spike the guns and things like that. If you ever wondered what spiking a gun actually was, I'll show you. I've got a prop right here. Ta-da! This is a prop gun. Okay, it doesn't fire anything, but I wanted to show you this because this being a muzzle loading cannon from ye old days, okay, where all the powder and the ball went down the barrel, you had to stick a fuse down the hole just here, okay, to light the fuse. Boom! That's how it worked. So to spike the enemy's guns, I mean, both sides did it in all wars. They came along with a nail. I'm improvising with a nail here, okay? And they stuck the nail down the hole that the fuse went, okay? And then you'd get a big hammer and you'd go bam, 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 hammer it into the hole and then snap it off. So the enemy now can't put a fuse down the hole to light the cannon. So this cannon has been spiked, okay? It doesn't work. And they have to wait for engineers to come and remove that nail. It takes time, you know, they're not easy things to get out. So there's a fascinating piece of useless information. So there's a lot of that, a lot of spiking. So when people talk today about drinks being spiked and the likes, I mean, the phrase, I'm sure, comes from spiking cannons, which was like just a nail, knocking them out, sabotaging them. But I will be doing more of the history of Gibraltar and looking around at different military bits that are really interesting. I was up at the Parsons Lodge yesterday. I might put a couple of little clips on there. It's completely shut and overgrown with weeds, and it is fantastic. It's overlooking the Rosier Bay area where the Marie Celeste and the HMS Victory were, and it was a good emplacement over the years, and it's completely overgrown. You can't get in there. The last people to use it, I think, were the British Army in World War II when they had attack guns on the top. Anti-aircraft guns. It's been closed. It's absolutely terrible that the Gibraltar government have not woken up and thought, whoa, that would be a massive tourist attraction. You know, we could rake in tons of cash. The Parsons Lodge, look it up on YouTube, the Parsons Lodge. And there's even a tunnel goes underneath it, and there's steps inside the tunnel going up to a door, and it's all locked, so you can't get in. I mean, you could break in, you could climb over the fence and wander around, but that'd be trespassing, and I'm sure someone would object. And another one is the Moorish Castle. The Moorish Castle, you can go up the steps and to the top, but you can't go round the 14th century courtyard, which was until recently a prison. But it's all closed. You can't get in there. 14th century. How many millions would the Gibraltar government make if they just opened that to the public? Just did a risk assessment, wandered around and say, get rid of that, that's a bit dangerous. Yeah, okay, that'll do. Boom, open the doors. Thank you, £10, £10, £10, £10. They'd just be pouring money. The tourists would be pouring in. Gibraltar government would be making a fortune. That and the Parsons Lodge gun emplacement, gun battery. Millions just sitting there waiting to be earned, and it's not happening. But Gibraltar has done a lot. The Gibraltar government and the Gibraltar Tourist Board have done a tremendous amount to improve tourist attractions within Gibraltar, and I think it's going to come. It's definitely the time's going to come, and I will be one of them at the front of the queue with my £10 note going, take my money, give me my tourist attraction. I want to take pictures, I want to make videos. There's even a 14th century gatehouse which was bricked up with breeze blocks, okay? So you can't get in during World War II, and I think they left a few little gaps. I'm just watching a lizard run up the wall there. They've left a few little gaps for poking machine guns out, and that's it. And it's just been like that ever since. And there's a car park now, I think, on the local Moorish Castle council estate. There's all the cars parked right in front of this fabulous 14th century medieval gatehouse, and you can't get access to it at all. So there you go. Hopefully things will change in the future. Thanks for watching.